following program is part of the Evolution Podcast Network.
Bullet Club for life.
We are on.
All right.
Welcome to the first episode.
Yes.
Of this new venture for me and Scott.
Yep.
Basically, what we're doing is just going to be talking some MMA and some wrestling.
Yeah, we're combining the two.
Since, Will from my show does not like talking about wrestling. He'll talk about everything else but wrestling. So,
right.
I've even noticed in the last couple of weeks they've been talking about Marvel fucking comics, and I have no idea.
Yeah.
So,
well, you know what? With all the crossover that's happening in MMA and wrestling, it kind of makes sense to just combine the two into one show.
No, exactly. I mean,
what's Ronda Rousey, Lesnar's now coming back to UFC. Yeah, there's all kinds.
Yeah, and then there's Lawler, who just won the MLW.
Lawler.
Yeah. Filthy Lawler there. What's his name?
Oh, Tom Lawler.
Tom Lawler just won the MLW championship. Major League Wrestling.
Really, eh?
Yeah. He's a really good wrestler.
Didn't even know that.
Yeah, he's a really good wrestler. He should be in the WWE soon.
Yeah.
I would think so. I mean, they'd be stupid not to take him.
I guess so. He's a character.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, like I said, even when he did the Shockmaster in Toronto, that was...
Yeah.
That's
brilliant.
Yeah. Again, we've talked about that off the air where anybody who doesn't know, the Shockmaster is one of the biggest fucking flukes in wrestling history. And then...
It's the worst gimmick, one of the worst.
Well, I think it was the worst because it was... Well, it would have been ended up the worst anyways, but I think the fact that he fell right off the hop...
Yeah.
Made it even just that much better, so...
Yeah, it was bad.
But it was funny because when he did it in Toronto, the fucking half the media was like the MMA, like the purist media.
Yeah.
Was just like, oh my God, what happened? Like, he fell. And all the wrestling guys, that like both, like myself, knew exactly what was going on.
Yeah, I watched it and I was like, this is amazing. I love this guy.
Yeah.
The crowd went silent. And it's like half the people were like, yeah, it's funny. And like, the other people just like looking around, like, what's he doing?
Yeah, like, is he okay? Is he drunk? is he on the narcotics?
Yeah, he's on the junk again. So there's another guy that's going to MMA. Actually, I was going to talk about it later, but since we're talking about the crossovers right now. Ex-WWE star Jack Hager, who is also known as Jack Swagger.
Yeah, Jack Hager, yeah.
Yeah, he says he's going to make his debut in Bellator in 2018.
Okay, so just over a year and a half since he signed the contract.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's legitimately pound for pound a really tough fighter.
Yeah.
All-American. I think he's a 3-time All-American. NCAA champion. Right. He's Brock Lesnar pedigree, but Brock's what, light heavyweight?
Heavyweight.
Yeah, heavyweight. So he should be either one or two weight classes below. But yeah, he's legitimate. He's a legitimate fucking. Yeah. This isn't like the CM Punk.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens here, and I can get my ass kicked just to live a dream out.
Yeah, I know.
So yeah, I'd be interested to see. I'd watch that one.
Yeah.
He's also an MLW too, so.
Okay.
Yeah, see, MLW is like another offshoot of wrestling, so like.
Yeah.
And if anybody knows anything about wrestling, it'd probably be me. Like, I'll watch anything.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I know you will.
Considering that I'm talking about MLW, and you have no idea. You're looking at me like.
No, I have no clue.
Yeah, so I mean, you might like it actually. They actually don't mind putting their shit on YouTube.
Yeah.
So, like, going back to, so we might as well tell like people that are listening what's going on. So basically, we've designed this show.
Mm-hmm.
usually what's going to happen over the next few weeks or so as we develop it is that we're going to have a watch along with one of the matches. We'll pick an MMA or wrestling match of the week.
Mm-hmm.
We'll leave a link in the description.
Yep.
And you can listen to us on the timestamp.
Yeah.
Commentate our way what we would think that would happen.
Yeah.
So
you can watch along with our commentary.
Yeah, so basically you just press play on the commentary, like on us, and you turn down whatever's being shown on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And it'll be us commentating with this thing.
Yeah. The original idea was that I don't know anything about wrestling.
Yeah.
And you don't know much about MMA, and you haven't seen very many matches.
Yeah.
And so the commentary, might be kind of funny because usually one of us hasn't seen the match, right? So.
No, exactly. I think it'd be more funny with the wrestling because you just be like, oh, for God's sake. I can pick up some really weird ones that are just going to be like the long dong style and all that stuff. Like, yeah, see, you just rolled your eyes as soon as. Yeah, see, I can't wait to show you that one.
Yeah, so, yeah, and then of course it's going to be latest news, upcoming events, and anything else we deem worthy of being on the podcast.
Yeah, so let's see here. Well, actually, this is the biggest weekend.
Yep.
For independent wrestling, actually, just in wrestling in general.
Mm-hmm.
I figured this would be a perfect time to start the show on this weekend. I know MMA is kind of on a slow period.
Yeah, and the next event's not for a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, for me, okay, I consider myself an MMA fan.
Yeah.
But I'll take time to watch the big one. So, like, for me, the next big fight for me is Brock versus DC.
Right.
So,
yeah.
I mean...
No, and I get that. You want to see the big, the name matches, prestigious matches. And that makes sense.
Well, no, I mean, I think... Okay. Listen, I watch... Okay, for instance...
I mean, it's not a knock on you. I mean, I want to see the big names too. Right?
No. It's not even that. It's just because I love MMA. Mm-hmm. I really enjoyed it. Like when I went to the Sky Dome for the first one,
yeah,
which was GSP versus one of the Diaz brothers. I can't remember now.
It would have been Nick Diaz.
Yeah. So and GSP just laid on his back the whole time defending. There was a big complaint that he wasn't offensive enough because basically, you have to beat the champion, right?
Was he? I thought he beat Nick pretty convincingly.
No, because he hurt his eye and stuff like that. And I think he went to decision, if I remember correctly.
I don't know.
That was the night that what's his name had the hematoma on his face. The guy from Hamilton, the machine gun.
Machine gun.
Yeah, I remember his nickname. And I remember he fought. I can't remember who he fought, but he had a huge hematoma on his face.
Yeah. And
we were sitting in the 500 level.
Yeah.
And then you could see it as plain as day. I was like, "Holy fuck, I think it's gonna explode in any second."
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I remember. But stuff like that, like I love when GSP is just on the ground, like the technical aspects. I'm not like a Fairweather fan where it's like, just stand them up and let them beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
So,
a lot of people like that.
Yeah, so, but see, okay, let me put this in perspective to you. Because everybody always asks, how much wrestling do you actually watch, Dominic?
Yeah.
Okay, so, on any given week, Monday Night Raw is 3 hours plus.
Is it? Oh, okay. It's that long, really?
Yeah, it's 3 hours plus. It's been like that for 2.5 years now. Okay, SmackDown on Tuesdays is 2 hours plus.
Wow.
Then you get your hour NXT, 2 hours of Impact.
Yep.
MLW, if something's good on,
yeah,
I might watch it. Then you got New Japan,
yeah,
which throws on like 4 or 5 hour pay-per-views every month, multiples at 4 in the morning.
Wow.
And I watch Being the Elite, which is like an offshoot show on YouTube that follows the Bullet Club.
Okay.
So you had that.
It's a lot of wrestling.
Yeah, so I mean, if I added all the MMA that comes out, Ultimate Fighter, the Fox fights,
Yeah.
the one or two pay-per-views a month, I would never leave my house.
Yeah, no.
Like, it's bad enough to get me out of the house now.
Yeah. There is actually a lot of UFC content now.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about MMA in general on this show. Just when it comes to UFC, there's a ton. And that's not including Bellator and all that. Which Bellator is actually, they're putting on a lot better shows these days.
I think that, Bellator reminds me of UFC when it first started.
Yeah?
I get that vibe from them, so
Yeah.
I kind of like it.
Yeah. So,
Except that freak shows part, like the freak show stuff kind of worries me.
you don't like the freak matches?
No, not when like fucking two guys die in the match and...
See, I thought you would like that because those freak show matches come from Japan. That's where the idea of them comes from. And I thought you would like that because it's kind of like wrestling. They put on like some ridiculous match where you're like, how is this even possible? Like, why are we doing this?
Yeah, no, I can understand that, but like... But see, wrestling is controlled, right? Like, I mean, as much as I hate to use the F word,
Yeah.
right? I like to say controlled,
Yeah.
more better.
That's fair.
But since that's more controlled, like the older guys, like even now, really, although not mobile enough, I still think that Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair could put on a match.
Yeah, but
It'd be controlled even more,
Yeah.
but I don't think they could. They could still put on a match that doesn't risk their lives, and not when you put like two guys that never really thrown a punch in their lives and just put them in the cage and
yeah, like I'm trying to think what the last. Well, because I should just ask you, what's the last like real freak show match where it's two guys that shouldn't be like in the ring together.
Well, that was the event with Dada 500 or 5,000.
Oh, I meant in wrestling. Wrestling.
Oh, in wrestling.
That match, yeah, Kimbo Slice and Dada 5. Yeah, that's.
And then right after was Shamrock versus Gracie, where Shamrock got punched in the balls by Gracie.
That was a terrible event.
Yeah, that was Especially when, like I said, two guys die on the way to the hospital.
Yeah, exactly.
And then 2 weeks later, they're
both dead.
Yeah, they're both dead now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a ridiculous match. I
Yeah.
don't know what possessed them. I know possessed them. They wanted a freak show match. But
Yeah.
No, I meant in wrestling. Like, what's a crazy like matchup where you just went, what are these two guys doing together?
It'd probably be a lot of the Japanese. Like Japanese wrestling is. I've seen some. Like red ant matches.
Red what?
Red ants.
Red ants.
Yeah, so basically, like the idea is to like they'll throw the guy in a vat of honey, and then like
Oh my god.
the ants will get them and stuff, and
Like the hardcore matches.
yeah, and the one that always irks me the most, it's like a train wreck. You don't want to watch, but you have to watch.
Yeah.
Are Taipei death matches.
Okay.
So Taipei death matches are the ones for me are just like, okay, this is a little too much. I don't know why we're doing this. I'll watch it, but I'm just not agreeing with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like which is basically they'll take the two guys and they'll tape their hands, but they'll tape the hands in a way so the sticky side is out first,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
And then they'll dip their hand in broken glass,
Okay.
and then they'll just punch the shit out of each other until whatever happens.
Just like in Kickboxer with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the idea of the Taipei death
Yeah,
match.
his final match with Tong Po. That's what they did.
Yeah,
It was an underground glasses knuckles match.
yeah. So like that's the same idea.
Glass knuckles.
And like I have DVDs and DVDs up downstairs of just there's one that's called like ECW's Bloodiest Matches,
Uh-huh.
and it's literally just two guys just going like shot for shot on each other with like glass on their hands.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like those are all like from Japan, and it's somewhat come over here. I always go back because they did an interview with people on the street when Pride was still around, Pride fighting, and they said, "What match do you want to see next?" And some guy on the streets of Tokyo says, "I want to see an American actor versus a baseball player." And we're like, "What the hell?" I'm like, "What kind of match is that? You just get two random guys in there, a baseball player and an American actor? It's so weird."
Well, yeah, like, what's the catch?
Yeah. And I'm like, that's so weird. But that's all they want to see. They just want to see a crazy matchup. You know?
Yeah, well, it's because they're so conditioned to all these other ones that a normal fight would be like, oh, okay, that'd be the...
That's kind of what I'm saying now with Daniel Cormier and Lesnar. That's as close to a freak show match as you can get. Daniel Cormier's a light heavyweight, and Lesnar's the biggest heavyweight they have.
Yeah, he's got his gloves made special.
And Cormier, he asked for that match. He's just like, I want a new test. I want to test myself, and I'm like, and it's for the championship too, the heavyweight champion. Or no, wait, yeah, heavyweight championship.
Yeah, it's for the belt.
Both.
He's got the belt. So like,
He's got both now. Yeah. So yeah, it's weird, man.
It's because they're leading up to John Jones. I'm not stupid. I know how this works. This is Vince McMahon 101.
I don't know if John Jones is gonna be back.
Honestly, dude, the only way we're gonna see John Jones back in the UFC is if Cormier happens to beat, which I don't think will happen. I think Brock is gonna demolish him.
Think so?
Oh yeah. I love DC. I love him. I love him. I always cheer for him.
I'm actually thinking. I actually think DC's gonna win. I think he's a good enough wrestler to stay out of trouble long enough for Lesnar to get tired.
Really?
Yeah. And I think he's gonna outlast him, and he's gonna hit him a few times. Well, he's gonna hit him with some good shots and eventually TKO him. That's what I think.
Wow, I'm.
That's what I think. I'm going out on a limb.
Okay.
But hey, anything can happen, really. I mean, Cormier can get tagged once and get knocked out, so so anything can happen, really.
Well, like I said, I mean, I think Brock's only losses have been because he had that
diverticulitis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, he got punched and he still stood up, but he was in pain.
His match when he came back after diverticulitis was against Alistair Overeem, and Overeem kneed him in the stomach repeatedly.
Yeah.
And those were brutal knees too.
Yeah, and Brock took him, so I mean,
God, they were like, I couldn't believe the knees he was taking in the gut. I'm like, just kill me now if I was taking those. I'm like, I just lay down and die.
Yeah, I'd be crying for my mother.
I'm like, I can't believe he's taking that.
So,
yeah. That's the Lesnar DC match has been postponed again, though. That's not. It was going to take place at UFC,
January.
What was it? 220? No, not 225. 232, I think. But they postponed it. They don't have a date yet for it.
I thought it was going to be January 3rd. Well, thank God, because I was going to book that day off.
I don't think they have a date for it yet.
Really?
Yeah, the card was supposed to be on now. The headline is a light heavyweight or a lightweight match, and they're not big names on it right now. But I don't know. You never know. Maybe they'll change it. Who knows?
Oh, things go the way they go.
Yeah, but you had what's going on with wrestling? You had Ring of Honor or
Ring of Honor's All In's coming up this week. I figured, what a better time to start this show.
Yeah.
Than the week of All In.
Okay.
It's the biggest non-WWE event in North America. We tried to get tickets to this.
Right. This is Ring of Honor, right?
No, this is all the independents combined in one big super show.
Okay, cool.
So basically, a little background for you and other people that just may not just like the MMA. Basically, the wrestling was put out in territories when it was the NWA, which included the WWF, WWE.
Yeah.
And what happened was, at the end of the year, which was called Starrcade, All the brands would come together and put on a super show, which would have the NWA champion wrestle at the end. Whoever was the top star of whatever, like all the promoters would vote who's the top star to fight the NWA champion, and is the champion going to win or whatever, obviously.
Yeah.
So what happened was once Vince McMahon took over from his father, he broke away from the NWA and killed the business. Well, not killed the business, but turned the business into what it is today, just one big global conglomerate. And then at one point there was WCW and ECW. And they've been dead for 15, 20 years now.
Yeah.
So basically now we have Ring of Honor, New Japan, Impact Wrestling, MLW. So they're kind of like the end of the territories. And then there's the NWA champion, who is Nick Aldis, who is from Impact. He used to be from Impact.
Is TNA still around?
That's Impact Wrestling now. They rebranded to Impact.
Good, because that's a much better name.
Well,
the TNA it's so obvious, man.
Well, you had to see who was doing the storylines for Impact at the time when they named it that.
Why? Who was doing it?
Vince Russo.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah, and it's funny because now even you, who's not even a big wrestling fan, hears the name Vince Russo and rolls their eyes. But
the TNA name, I'm like, they're like, total nonstop action. I'm like, yeah, right. Everybody knows what TNA stands for, and then they try to say it's total nonstop action, which also is a lame name. So Impact is much better. It makes more sense.
Yeah, well, I mean, thank God now it's Canadian, so
yeah,
it's owned by the Fight Network out of Toronto.
Oh, really? Cool.
Yeah. So now,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Impact Wrestling is now out of Nashville and out of Toronto.
That's cool.
So basically, what happened was, just to give you a background thing, Cody Rhodes leaves the WWE because he's not happy with his Stardust character. And goes on the independent scenes and making a lot of. He's made more money, he said, on the independents than the WWE.
Yeah.
Joins the Bullet Club out of New Japan, and it's been taken off. You've seen the shit that I've bought, and Jay bought, and
I see a lot of people with the Bullet Club stuff.
Yeah, and you, but you hanging out with us. You don't wear the gear, but I mean, I own about 20, 30 shirts, right? And so does Cal and Jay. Jay owns 10 now. So, and then my car's plastered with the Bullet Club logo on it. I'm actually thinking about getting a tattoo, the Bullet Club tattoo.
God.
What?
You don't need a tattoo.
I like tattooing things I like. That means something to me. And the Bullet Club means something to me. Yeah. I'll explain that on the off air then.
Fair enough.
You wanna hit the lights? Oh, yeah. We gotta turn the light on now. We're not stopping on this.
Yeah.
So basically what happens is there's a news reporter, his name is Dave Meltzer, he's been reporting wrestling for years at the Wrestling Observer.
Yep.
Someone tweets him and says, "Do you think that Ring of Honor can sell out 10,000 seats?"
Yeah.
And he said, "Not anytime soon." So Cody was like, "I'll take you up on that bet." And then that was the fruition of All In. Basically, they're putting on the show. Him and the Young Bucks.
Yeah.
I've completely paid for everything, and it's their baby. So this is, and no one knew that. Like I said, we tried to get tickets.
Yeah. And
it was sold out in 30 minutes.
And this is Ring of Honor.
No, this is everybody.
Oh, okay. This is NWA, right? This is
like
All In.
Yeah, this is.
So Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks are financing it?
Yeah, they're financing it.
Oh, wow.
Ring of Honor and New Japan are helping them with the TV production side and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But they're paying them. They're basically, Ring of Honor let them break their contract so they could do this show. So what happened was, so they put the show on. They invited everybody. So there's going to be people from Impact.
Yeah.
There's going to be people from MLW. There's going to be people from other independent scenes. There's like a guy who's not even. His name is Joey Janela.
Yeah.
He's not even with anybody really.
Okay.
Right. So like, and he's an amazing competitor, really talented.
Yeah.
So like, that's basically it. It's just all the major promotions except for WWE involved in one huge show.
See, that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, and
start getting these dream matches that you never get to see, right?
Oh no, exactly. And like I said, it's been so much buzz about it that I was like, this is the perfect time for us to start. I mean, if there was a bigger MMA show, I would have said let's do it then. But
no.
I think doing a preview for All In.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially with the way my mind runs, I already have the storylines already written down. I know exactly.
Do they have matchups yet for it?
Oh yeah. So first of all, there's gonna be a 1 hour preview show.
Oh wow, jeez, 1 hour.
Well, I mean but there's gonna be matches on there. See what happened was WGN actually bought an hour off of them.
Yeah.
To show it for free, and I didn't want like one of those like buy the pay per view and if you haven't bought it yet type of thing. Mm-hmm. They actually wanted like actual matches shown. So they've had a few just to run through the thing that like there's a over the budget battle royal.
Okay.
Which is always a take of which is a funny shot at the WWE because every WrestleMania there's like the stupid battle royal that nobody gives a shit about.
Right.
So basically, they just take everybody that doesn't have a storyline.
Yeah.
All right, just so they can say they're on the card.
Yeah.
All right, so they call the over the budget battle royal.
Right.
Now the winner of this battle royal in the preview gets to have a shot at the Ring of Honor title during the pay per view.
Okay.
So it includes like. There's actually a girl in there, Jordynne Grace, which I'm hoping she does some. She's very talented, probably one of the most talented women right?
Yeah.
But she's not like a monster, like she's not Awesome Kong or anything like that, right?
Right.
She's actually a cute girl, where like
Yeah.
So like she's gonna be in it. I think she's gonna have a couple high spots, but she's not gonna win it. There's gonna be a surprise entrance. I think this is gonna happen.
Right.
So like, there's a Flip. I think Flip Gordon's gonna win it.
Okay.
Because there's a storyline where he's been trying to get on the show, like book Flip.
Okay.
And Cody won't let him go on the show, and he's tried everything to be on the show.
Yeah.
And he won't. So I think that somehow he's gonna sneak himself into the Battle Royal, win it, and then go on to face the ROH champion, who's Jay Lethal during the day. And then let's see. So there's my prediction for that one. Let me see. I want to get to the other ones. Well, Nick Aldis and Cody Rhodes.
Okay.
For the NWA title.
Yeah.
Now, my wrestling brain wants to say Cody Rhodes wins it because his father Dusty had the NWA title.
Right.
And it only makes sense it's the main event. And to close off the show with Cody having it, now that his father's been passed on for 2 years. But I'm not sure how that's going to go. I think that it's going to be more of Nick Aldis retaining the title. Also, though, again, going back to my surprises and stuff like that, Cody Rhodes has Bernard the Business Bear.
I have no clue what that
is. Yeah, you have no idea.
No, I don't know.
We'll explain this all tomorrow when we're watching the pay-per-view. So Bernard the Business Bear is a little mascot thing that comes out. He's a guy dressed in a puppet, right?
Okay.
And he's a bear, and they just call him Bernard the Business Bear.
Yeah.
My thing is I think that Bernard the Business Bear is going to be CM Punk.
Oh, I see.
And he's going to somehow interfere in that. Long shot.
Yeah.
But I think that it'll be. I think that might be just the.
Well, I was wondering where CM Punk was going to come back to because UFC let him go officially.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, there's nowhere else for him to go. I mean, back to wrestling. I don't think Vince McMahon wants him back, but.
Oh, Vince will take him back.
You think so?
Oh, come on, man. There's been wrestlers that listen. Hulk Hogan's back.
Really?
Yeah, they announced him back at SummerSlam. Wow. So he's back in the fold. After he said all that stuff about African Americans.
Yeah.
Bruno Sammartino, before he died, was back in WWE, and he claimed that fucking people try to rape him.
Oh my god.
Like if you see some of the older interviews, listen, if anybody, Bret Hart came back, CM Punk will come back.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's Jay Lethal versus whoever wins the over the budget battle royal.
Yeah.
Again, I already said it'll be Flip Gordon. Madison Rayne, Britt Baker, Chelsea Green, and Tessa Blanchard in a four-way.
Four-way women's match.
Yeah, four-way women's match.
All right.
And I'm thinking, see, out of all these ones, I think the one that has the most talent is Tessa Blanchard.
Right.
Now, for anybody who doesn't know, her father is Tully Blanchard from the Four Horsemen. So her pedigree is there. And her like her uncle's Magnum TA. So you're looking at me like I have no idea.
Well, I vaguely remember the Four Horsemen, but I don't know.
Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson were the tag team.
Oh, that's the old school ones, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and they were the Brain Busters in WWE, if you can remember that far back.
No, I don't remember that.
Okay, well, her dad is Tully Blanchard.
Okay.
And out of all, I think out of all of them, she has the most talented. I don't think. I mean, it'd be stupid to give anybody else a chance at this. Like Madison Rayne, Britt Baker, Chelsea Green. They're just young, like up and coming. Tessa Blanchard. She's got Ric Flair. She's got Charlotte Flair pedigree, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
The Briscoe brothers, Jay and Mark,
Yeah.
against SoCal Uncensored, Frankie Kazarian and Scorpio Sky.
Okay.
That's just a regular tag team match.
Yeah.
They've been feuding in ROH on and off. This one I think is just going to be a brawl, and I think it's going to end in a double DQ. This isn't going to. It's going to be a schmoz.
Yeah. That happens a lot, doesn't it? It happen a lot.
Yeah, I get maybe a lot with the Briscoe brothers. They're legitimately crazy.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I've met these guys, and I don't think they're playing a part.
Yeah.
No, these guys are like, they're real like Kentucky chicken farmers. That yeah, like I don't think they're playing a part, dude.
Could be. Yeah.
I mean, I think it's them turned up to 1,000.
Yeah.
So I'm actually thinking that this one's going to be just a schmoz, and it's just going to end that way.
Right.
Something that you might be very interested in. The Fallen Angel Christopher Daniels is fighting Stephen Amell.
Really,
Arrow.
eh?
Yeah, in his first, actually second professional match.
Wow. Huh.
Because Stephen Amell is officially part of the Bullet Club.
No way.
Yeah.
I didn't know any of this.
Jay's got his shirt. He's got the Arrow Club one.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Did I see that before?
Yeah, you've seen it. We've talked about
I've
it.
seen it before.
Yeah.
It's weird, man. Stephen Amell. Who's he fighting? Who's he?
The Fallen Angel Christopher Daniels.
Christopher Daniels.
Yeah, he's been around for years, but mostly Impact and ROH.
It sounds familiar.
Yeah, if you look back to old TNA footage and stuff like that, you'll recognize him as soon as he had a bunch of wars with AJ Styles and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm going towards Stephen Amell on this one.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm looking at Stephen Amell for this one. Let's see here. We also have Rey Mysterio, Phoenix, and Bandito.
Okay, yeah. They're all masked?
Well, yeah, they're luchadors, so they'll be all masked.
That's cool. Three-way luchador match?
No. They're fighting against the Golden Elite. Matt and Nick Jackson, the Young Bucks, and Kota Ibushi.
Okay.
All part of the Bullet Club.
Wow. Six-way. That's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
six-way tag team, man. This is...
There's not many singles matches anymore, eh?
No, they're coming up. Because,
They're really, packing a lot of people in there.
Yeah, I think that's what they're trying to do, just get as many people as they can. So I think this one's gonna be really good. It's gonna be a lot of high flying spots.
Oh, yeah.
I think Rey Mysterio and the Luchadors are gonna win.
Yeah.
You can't have Rey Mysterio on the card and not have him win.
Yeah, he's a big name, right?
Yeah, I think that would be the thing to go to with that one.
Yeah.
Joey Janela versus Hangman Page in a Chicago street fight. This one and the match that I'm going to discuss after probably have the potential to steal the show.
Okay.
These are like just probably going to be like first or second run into the mat, like curtain jerker, and maybe the second match in. And these ones I think are going to steal the show. Joey Janela is not afraid of fucking anything.
Yeah.
And they're going to be, it's a Chicago street fight, they're going to be going all over the arena. I'm thinking someone's going to take a dive off of something. A scaffold, I don't know, lighting fixture.
Yeah.
Go up to the 200 level of the fucking stadium and take a dive off there. I don't know, moonsault off into the ring. I don't know. But it'll be something that nuts.
Okay, yeah.
And I think that Joey Janela is going to take him out.
Right.
Only because, again, part of my storylines is that Joey Ryan's going to come in and screw up Hangman Page.
Okay.
Again, because you have to be watching Being the Elite.
Yeah.
Apparently, Joey Ryan's been missing because he's been murdered.
Oh, Jesus.
So I think that he's... Yeah, see.
Okay.
So Hangman Page is going to lose because he's the one that looks like that he killed Joey Ryan. So the second match that I thought was going to steal the show is Okada versus Marty Scurll.
Right.
The villain.
Yeah.
Now, I'm thinking Skrull's going to take this one, but it's going to be a really physical match. They're going to beat the shit out of each other. And, again, I think just Marty Scurll's going to take that one. And the main event, Kenny Omega versus Pentagon Jr.
Okay. So I know Kenny Omega. I don't know Pentagon Jr.
Pentagon Jr. is from Impact.
Okay.
He's a luchador, and he's nuts.
Yeah.
Myself, Cal, Asperger, and another person I will not mention.
Okay.
He didn't. Well, it's Frank DeLigio, but he doesn't want me to say his name.
I see.
But I said it anyway.
You
So
said it,
yeah. So we went to Slammiversary in Toronto at the Rebel nightclub, and he literally took a railroad spike and a baseball bat and cut somebody open with it.
All right.
So he's literally hammering these spikes into a guy's fucking forehead. And we were right there, so it wasn't like he was like you could hear like it was an aluminum bat, so you could hear him smacking the fucking.
And you think so? You think Kenny Omega's gonna win that one?
Yes, because I don't think that they would. See, then this is where the different promotions come into effect. I don't think if the title's on the line, which I think it says it is. Let me make sure about that. Actually, maybe not, because it says it's just a singles match. So maybe it's not. Kenny Omega is the New Japan Pro Wrestling World Champion.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't think that if the belt's not on the line, he might lose. It's non-title. Who cares?
Yeah, that makes sense. If you want to make the guy lose, I mean, that's the best opportunity to do it.
Yeah, but I don't think that they're gonna have an impact. See, the New Japan's higher on the scale of impact. If you understand what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So I think that New Japan would have more pull on it, and they wouldn't want a New Japan guy falling like in to an Impact wrestler for the belt.
Yeah.
If it was non-title, maybe I could see Omega losing.
Yeah.
But if the belt's on the line, there's no way he's losing.
No, he's too big of a name.
No, exactly, and you can't just crush him like that. So there's the match. We should be done by 11 o'clock and at the bar by 11:15.
That is what, next Sunday?
That's tomorrow.
That's tomorrow.
Yes. As soon as we finish this, I am popping this online.
And then tomorrow, what are we doing as far as this We doing another episode, or what are we doing? Live tweeting or something?
Yeah, we're gonna. I just figured we'd just do some live tweets and stuff like that. If you don't mind me giving me access to the Twitter account,
Yeah, of course.
and then we can just sit there and take videos from
Yeah,
from Cal's place, and
because I know you wanted to do something for All In.
yeah, like I said, this is I think the perfect opportunity. Like it was either this or SummerSlam, and thank God we picked fucking All In.
Mm-hmm.
SummerSlam was horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
It was Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns again.
Oh right. I heard
And as you get in more and more into the episodes with me, you'll see a certain hatred for Roman Reigns.
I know you hate Roman Reigns.
Oh yeah,
He used them for the a temporary logo for the podcast, and you're like, no, that's got to change. Nope, he's gonna come out. He's gonna come out.
I would rather have Barry Horowitz.
Well, it was just temporary. Like it was just temporary. I needed a placeholder, and the only guy I could think of, I'm like, who's a wrestler? Fuck. Roman Reigns. Yeah. And I'm like, I think he's a big name, so I just put him on there. And it's just a placeholder until Jay's designs us a good one.
No, I know that, but like I said, I would have fucking picked if you had showed me Barry Horowitz. I'd be like, oh, much better.
How about Coco Beware?
Oh, I would rather have Frankie the Bird flapping away there.
I'm gonna put George St. Pierre and Roman Reigns on it right now. How about I put like the most ridiculous people I can think of? How about I'll put the Shockmaster on there, and
Filthy Tom Lawler.
I'll put the Shockmaster, and then I'll put Tom Lawler as the Shockmaster as well.
Oh, can we do that? Well, I mean, we might have to put that for next week's thing.
That could be the new logo. I'll work on it. I'll put the Shockmaster and then Tom Lawler as the Shockmaster,
Okay.
facing off against one another.
So before we sign off here,
I still got stuff. How far are we in?
we're 45 minutes in.
Okay, that's cool. We got time then.
Oh, okay. I thought we had all the MMA. What other MMA news you got?
No, I was just gonna say.
Oh, we're gonna talk about Clayton Kincaid.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about him in a second. I just did a couple things to go over. Conor McGregor has been signed to fight again.
Yes, that'll probably be in the new year.
Yeah, he's gonna fight Sergey Nurmagomedov. And not a lot of people know Nurmagomedov because his name's really hard to say. But Nurmagomedov is really, really good. He is an awesome fighter. He's undefeated. He's a Russian, undefeated. And he's just one of these guys. He's one of those guys that never gets tired. And every punch that he throws seems to hit. And he just continuously goes forward. His grappling skill is really good, too. He's phenomenal on the ground. So, I mean, that'll be a good fight. I think that'll be a good fight.
I am a huge fan of both fighters.
It's going to be a good one. Those are two really good fighters.
Yeah, that'll be another one I will be stuck in front of the TV.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The other thing is, we covered Jack Swagger. Bellator right now has a heavyweight Grand Prix tournament going on. And I looked up the card, and it is actually a really good card. If I can find, here we are. So they've already had they got 2 brackets, and they've already had the first fights take place. So the one side of I'll run through quickly. The one side of the bracket, Quentin Jackson versus Chael Sonnen. Fedor Emelianenko versus Frank Mir. The fights have already happened. Chael Sonnen beat Jackson. Emelianenko beat Mir. So the next fight's going to be Sonnen versus Emelianenko. That's the semifinal.
Holy shit.
On the one side. The other side, Roy Nelson versus Matt Mitrione. And then Ryan Bader versus King Mo Lawal.
King Mo.
Yeah, King Mo. Bader beat King Mo, and Mitrione beat Roy Nelson. So Bader versus
Oh, did you say Mitrione beat?
beat Roy Nelson, yeah.
That's fucking beautiful. I hate that guy.
You don't like Roy Nelson?
No, him and King Mo.
Yeah, King Mo is...
He's a bag of shit. Like, I've never seen someone come in with so much promise.
Yeah. See, the problem with King Mo is that he's a good fighter, but he didn't step up in competition enough. He fought guys that were clearly not as good as him. And, like, he's got a good record. And everybody goes, look at his record, look at his record. But he hasn't fought any big names.
No, exactly.
Or even, like, mediocre names, like... But, yeah, Ryan Bader beat him. So it's Mitrione Bader and Sonnen Emelianenko. That's the semifinal bracket. And
Who you picking?
I got to pick Emelianenko and then Mitrione. And so the final Emelianenko Mitrione. To be honest with you, I think I'll go out on a limb and say Mitrione.
I was going to pick Mitrione to win too, but I also think he's going to beat Sonnen in the finals.
You think Sonnen's going to beat Emelianenko?
Yeah.
Going out on a limb here. Yeah.
On that match, yeah, I think I love Chill. I know something. He's just a dickhead. I just love it.
But
I think Mitrione will take him in the finals though.
But that's for Bellator. That's a really good tournament. That's a lot of big names,
dude. You know what? Since the Reebok contract thing, that could have been nothing could have been better for Bellator than UFC doing the Reebok contracts.
I agree. There was quickly say that one of the female fighters, Jessica Andrade, I believe, in the UFC, she said that in an interview she had to sell all her UFC merchandise and gear and all that stuff, like as she just sold it to like fans, autograph seekers, shit like that, just to like get a training camp going. She said that she's broke, even though she fights regularly in UFC.
Yeah, see, that's because there's other things I've heard about UFC also. Like, they don't get any, they don't get a cut from the video game.
No,
none of the merchandising.
Of all people that exposed it, it was Fedor Emelianenko that exposed that.
Yeah, and the other guy, I can't remember now. He's a jiu-jitsu guy. There was two of them.
What Fedor said was that when he wanted to sign with UFC, they gave him like a good contract and it was good money, but the contract stipulated that like 100% of anything he makes off his name, like toys, the video games, all that stuff, goes to the UFC.
Yeah,
and he's like, it's my name. You don't own my name, right? You can't do that. But that was the contract. So that's why he'll never fight in the UFC.
Yeah, and because like even in WWE, as long with the reputation of being a big bad fucking company,
yeah,
they allow the wrestlers to make pretty good money on merchandise. Like,
yeah, oh yeah.
So I don't know what UFC is thinking. Like,
I don't know. It's a lot of people are complaining about it, but UFC's the big time until Bellator gets going, and it is too. Bellator's doing good. So the next UFC is 228. I'll just go through the card. It's not terribly exciting, to be honest with you. The main event's Tyrone Woodley versus Darren Till. Woodley, he's been around as former champion. Darren Till, he's undefeated, 17-0. He's the next big, up-and-coming guy. But he's got to get past Tyrone Woodley. The co-main event is a women's match. And it's Nico Montano versus Valentina Shevchenko. Shevchenko's really good. She's a really good kickboxer.
Wasn't she the one that took fucking Rousey's head off?
That was no, that was the American girl, the farmer's daughter.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember her name.
I know who you're talking about. I can't remember her name.
Yeah, Shevchenko, she last fought Cyborg.
Okay.
Yeah, she's a really good kickboxer.
I use Cyborg in the UFC game.
Yeah. No doubt. Honestly, the other matches aren't that great. There's another women's match which is actually, it sounds like pretty good. Jessica Andrade versus Carolina Kowalczykiewicz. Yes, that's how you pronounce it.
Jeez, where are we coming from? Fucking North or like
She's from Poland. Kowalczykiewicz is she's another really good kickboxer.
Yeah, it seems like everybody's coming from the Ukraine, Poland, fucking.
Yeah.
All the women.
It's worldwide. Jessica Andrade is Brazilian, so.
Yeah, she's the only one. The other one is like whatever.
Yeah, but that's the next pay-per-view. It's not terribly exciting, but
remind me not to fucking hype up anything with you for UFC.
Yeah, UFC 229. The next pay-per-view after that's where Conor McGregor's fighting.
Oh,
that one's a much better card. We can go over that later at another show, but.
What's the exact date? I need to book this day off.
October 6th.
I will be sending the email out today.
Yeah. So that's UFC. This one's not great, but I think I don't know. I think they might have been spending too much money lately on getting these big fighters.
Really?
Yeah, that's about it for MMA. The only other thing is, Clayton, our friend of ours,
made his return to the ring, baby.
Made his return to the ring after 10 years, and he fought in Toronto at Lee's Palace. He fought a hardcore match against a guy named Warhead, who I guess that's all he does is hardcore matches, and it was actually a really, really good match. It stole the show.
Really?
People were coming up to him all night afterwards saying, man, it was great. It was the best fight on the card. He got nothing but compliments for it, and he did really good. It was pretty awesome. And he wore the Ultimate Gravity Show shirt in the ring too.
Yeah, I hope once we get some shirts, he'll be wearing the Savages
podcast. Yeah.
Like, I will be completely and utterly offended.
You know what? What we're gonna do is, I think. So here's what he told us that he's gonna wear it in the ring. He showed us a picture of him. He cut the sleeves off and he cut the collar off, and he's like, "This is what I'm wearing," and we're like, "This is amazing, dude." And we thought, there's nothing we can do for him though. Like we can't. Like, we'd like to say that we can sponsor you or something like that, but we can't. You know? We can't sponsor anybody. We don't have money, right? And so, like, what do we do for the guy? And what we decided is we're probably going to, the next time we design some shirts, for the Savages or for the network maybe, whatever, we're going to design maybe one or two for him. We're going to make one or two for him that he can wear in the ring. And it'll probably have our logos on the back, probably the Savages, probably Ultimate Gravity, maybe the Evolution Network, who knows, right? And the other thing we're going to do for him is he wanted to start a podcast and talk about his journey back to the ring, and he didn't do it for whatever reason, it doesn't matter. New time, whatever. And we told him, I said, well, why don't we just film you and follow you around for like the next year or so and document how you've returned to the ring and how you're doing and all this stuff and make it like an actual proper documentary.
That, and we can call him once a week and have him on a segment.
Yeah, and I said, it's perfect. I said, it is perfect because we can play we got all kinds of plans for it. We can have him come on this show as well, which he actually does want to do.
Yeah.
He actually does want to come on here. And, all that could be filmed. And then...
dude, not even that. Even for, like, just the audio part of it, we could fucking... we can have them call in.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
How are you doing this week? What did you do? This and that.
Yep.
What do you got matches coming up?
Yeah.
What do you think of Monday Night Raw? What do you think of the UFC if he watches it?
Yeah, and so this documentary, we'll talk about it more off the air, but
Yeah.
it's not necessarily for the Ultimate Gravity show or anything like that or a specific show. It's for the whole network.
No, exactly. So now everybody gets an idea of what we're doing here. So
yeah.
So hopefully, and we're gonna be tweaking it every so often.
Yeah. But we're looking forward to that. Clayton he ended up losing the match, but it was a great match. The crowd was right into it. They were chanting, "This is awesome" and "Too sweet."
Okay. Well, those are the best ones you can get.
Yeah, they loved it.
I think there was the next to Fight Forever.
Fight Forever, yeah.
Yeah. That's the stupidest chant I've ever heard. Fight Forever. Fuck off.
Ah, man. So,
anyways, we have.
What are we doing?
I'm
doing a fight or a match or?
No, I was suggesting we start doing that next week. This was all in on the stuff and talk about Clayton and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it was like
we've gone
almost an hour, dude.
Yeah.
So I am gonna hit the button that says it's time to go home.
Okay.
And I hope you enjoyed our first.
What's that?
That's the bullet.
Top rope combat.
Yes. Hope you like our first show. I'm ending it with the Bullet Club because if it's all in.
With that?
I'm ending the show with the Bullet Club.
This is the Bullet Club.
Yeah, it's their entrance song. I figured it'd be perfect to end it with because it's all in.
Fair enough.
And with that being said, check out our Twitter tomorrow, live streams, live tweets, and reaction shots to whatever we can get our hands on.
Yeah.
And probably us drunk at the bar.
Probably.
Yeah. Anyways, see you later, guys.
All right.